we definitely like to thank you for granting Beast Man TV this interview today. Can you first off start telling the people exactly who you are and what you represent?
My name is Jeffrey Rascoe, and I'm a former candidate for County Council for District 9, Prince George's County.
Okay, all right, and that's good letting us know that. But before we go into that,
Uh-huh.
can you give the people a little bit of background about you and your history as far as being Prince George's County and all that kind of stuff? You can give us a little history on that.
My history in the county started several years ago, where I was born in PG Hospital in Cheverly, Maryland. I started my life here on this planet in the county. I was raised in Landover, Maryland. Lived in D.C. for a while. Then I moved back to Prince George's County. I'm in Prince George's County now. Currently, I'm a founder of a nonprofit, Cementing Foundations, where basically our motto is we look to strengthen the family by empowering the men in those families. I am the also founder of the JRAS annual Father's Day cookout, which this year celebrated its 20th year in existence as a free Father's Day cookout for the community. This is our 20th year doing it. We've been doing it since 1998. Very proud of that. And by day, I run the substance abuse groups for CSOSA in DC for the returning citizens.
Okay. Could you give us a little bit of background about your history as far as schooling and where you went to school in Prince George's County?
Schooling, high school. I started out in Duval High School when my parents moved to a different side of town. I finished up at Crossland High School, graduated from Crossland High School, left there, went to Prince George's Community College. After that, went to Bowie State University, and that's when I received my bachelor's degree in business administration.
Okay. And during that time, during your schooling, whether high school, college, was there any point in time that you thought of being a community activist or even running for any type of government position during that time?
No. Most of my thoughts in high school was about getting out of high school. I didn't think anything about running for office. I voted, but my thoughts were in no way back then headed in that direction. I knew I like to affect change in people. I like to affect people's lives. I just didn't know. I wasn't really on a path of which way I was going to affect lives. So as far as politics, no, I never gave it a thought when I was in school.
What about as far as community service and all that kind of stuff during your time, either high school or when you went to Bowie State University?
As far as community service, I would have to say I would say yeah. When I was at PG Hospital, I worked, got a job in the bookstore. I worked in the bookstore, so I was able to help students like navigate the supplies they need for their classes that they were taking and things of that nature. And I did a lot of volunteer work when I was at Bowie State with our homeless populations and also domestic violence groups and things of that nature back there.
Okay. During Bowie State, did you pledge anything?
No, I didn't.
You did?
I didn't.
What year did you go to Bowie State?
Whew.
From when to when?
Yeah, you about to date me now.
That's the reason why I'm asking. But go ahead.
I finished Bowie State in 1993.
1993?
Yes.
Only reason why I asked, I went to Bowie State.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I started at PG College in '89. I finished at Bowie in '93.
Okay, that's cool. All right, and talk a little bit about. Let me see. I got down that, like you said, you started a nonprofit organization. Could you elaborate a little bit more about that? When did you start it? Why did you start it? And just give us a little information on that.
Well, my nonprofit organization, Cementing Foundation, was basically born out of my Father's Day cookout back in 2014. At the cookout, my father's usually the first person to show up. He usually shows up first thing in the morning. We usually talk for a couple of hours before people get there. And my father said to me one day, he said, "This is a great thing you're doing for the community, but you should do more with it. You should maybe look to help fathers out throughout the year." So that's when the seed was planted and with the help of my wife Tanya, we put our heads together, got the paperwork done, and in 2015, Cementing Foundations was born.
Okay. And so it's been up for probably about 3 years.
Yes.
Can you talk about how many people you may have helped during the 3 years?
I don't know numbers, but we've helped several different organizations. One being the Prince George's Men's Transitional Center. We do a annual T-shirt drive in the summer. We do a hat and glove drive in the winter. We did the T-shirt drive because the idea was that a lot of times in the winter, organizations do coat drives, but the thought was, well, in the summer it's hot. Some people don't have T-shirts, don't have good T-shirts, clean T-shirts. So we did a real big T-shirt drive in conjunction with Demarco Solar, where we had people bring T-shirts to the store, and the store was generous enough to say everyone who brought T-shirts got a discount on merchandise in the store for donating T-shirts. And once we collected all the T-shirts, we took them to the Prince George's Men's Transitional Center, which is the only homeless shelter for men in Prince George's County. And we donated those. Since then, we've done a lot of different things with that organization. Just this past school year, our nonprofit, we did the classroom closet drive, where we collected school supplies, and we chose 4 different teachers in the DMV area, and we dropped off school supplies for their classrooms. So when their children run out of supplies, there's still supplies in the building. In the classroom for those children. We're going to keep doing that as well.
Yeah, that's great. And once again, you were talking about the, I guess it's called Adam's House.
Adam's House. Oh yeah, Adam's House. Shout out to Bill Hall. He runs the anger management groups there. He selected me to be one of the facilitators so we do that on Monday evenings, where we facilitate domestic violence. Well, they're technically anger management groups, but what happens is in Prince George's County, if you get charged with a violent crime, whether it's domestic violence or assault, if you're given parole, part of your sentence is to go to Adam's House to help address those issues. So that's where we come in, and we help persons deal with their possible anger issues or any other underlying issues they may have that affects their decision making.
So, out of all the things that you're doing for our community, which one touches you more out of all the things that you're doing?
That's a tough question. Anything we do that generally helps our community, I love it. When you do things for people and you see the smile on their face, and you see that they really were at a place where they didn't know how they were going to make it without us, that just it always touches our hearts. So to pick one event, that's a tough one. But right near the top would have to be my Father's Day cookout. Society would tell you that our men don't take care of their children, but that's couldn't be further from the truth. So that's why I initially started the Father's Day cookout, because on Father's Day there wasn't many things to do as far as I saw on Father's Day, and I just wanted to give our men something to look forward to on Father's Day. I didn't know the cookout would grow the way it did. We do roughly 400 to 500 men every year for this free event. It's grown. I appreciate that. To God be the glory. And and I just like to see fathers get out and just kind of have their day to celebrate being a father. If they're not a biological father, the father figures in their lives. So that's one of my favorite things we do.
Also, too, can you talk about your participation in your church? What's going on with the church?
Maple Springs Baptist Church, under the leadership of Pastor Reverend Sam Tarver. With the church, I attend most Sundays. I give every Sunday. I'm part of the men's choir. I'm not a good singer, but I saw a vacancy in the men's choir, and so I signed up for it. Love doing that. I'm also the vice secretary of the Missions and Outreach Ministry, where we do things in the community through that as well. We're going back to the men's jail, men's prisons in Prince George's County and in the state of Maryland to speak with the men there, fellowship with them, pray with them, and just let them know that they're not forgotten about. Because a lot of times men go behind the bars and they feel not thought about, or we don't think about them anymore. So we just want to give them, keep them level head and let them know that there's groups of people out there advocating for them, fighting for them, and we're going to be there for them when they get out.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about as far as your background, as far as the community stuff that you're doing in Prince George's County before we get into?
I'm just a huge advocate for our people. I'm a father. I'm a husband, and I like to see everyone around me and everyone in my community succeed. So that's just my biggest thing now. I just want to see everyone succeed. I'm just gonna keep pushing for that as long as I can.
Okay. Now, I definitely want to talk about you running for city council for what, District 9?
District 9, County Council in Prince George's County.
County Council,
Yes.
excuse me. And District 9 in Prince George's County. I definitely want to talk about that. And so, can you give us your journey? Can you let us know what your journey was? Let the people know.
My journey to running.
To running. Was this your first time? Was this your fifth time in doing this? Can you give us some history on
This was honestly my first time running for anything political. When I was in school, I didn't even run for student council. Again, like I said earlier, I had never thought about politics or being a political figure as you would, but I saw a need in my county. I got to a point as a resident where I was frustrated, to a point where I said to my wife, I said, forget this, we're moving out of Prince George's County. I was that frustrated, but...
And you got to tell the people, like, what was your frustration? What were you frustrated about?
You know what, and I hate that you asked me that because I forgot. It was just a few things that I just, I don't know if it was the trash pickup going from twice a week to once a week. There's a few things we were trying to get done, and we were met with so much red tape to where these are things that we were looking to give to residents of the county, but the county said, no, you can't do that. You got to do this, you got to do that. It was just a lot, and it just got to a point where I was frustrated because I was just like, I'm just trying to help people. I'm trying to help. I'm not doing this to make any money or anything. I'm just trying to help. So out of that frustration was born, I was just like, you know what? The same way I'm frustrated, my neighbor may be frustrated as well. So it was then that I realized that the answer wasn't leaving the county. The answer was putting myself in a position to help the residents of the county. So that's when I made a decision that I was going to run for county council.
Of District 9.
Of District 9, correct. That's where I live. So you got to run for where you live. So
right. And can you tell the people the location of
District 9?
What's District 9?
District 9 is the Clinton, Upper Marlboro, Fort Washington, Brandywine, Baden, Aquasco area, and Accokeek. It's the southernmost part of the county. It's actually the largest district of the 9 districts in Prince George's County.
And the actual position that you're running, that you were running for, can you tell the people what that position is?
The primary job of county council is they control the budget for your district. For example, the Prince George's County gets a certain budget every year. That budget is broken down into 9 pieces of the pie, and it's separated into the 9 districts. So with District 9, I would control the budget of District 9 regarding what monies are allotted for what programs and what money goes where. So, and that's the biggest part of the job, and which I saw that and I say, well, you know what? That was what kind of drew me to it, because there are a lot of programs that need funding. There are a lot of programs that are forgotten about, and there's a population that's suffering because these things aren't in place.
Okay. And so they are kind of like the accountant, I would say, or money management.
Right. The money, more the money management for the district and for the county. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do have to ask, do you have a background in that?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I do. starting with my degree in I have a business degree, and I've also worked in money management. What I brought was I worked on the money management side, but I've also worked on the people side, dealing directly with people in social services. Whether it was I worked in the welfare to work project in the county, and Prince George's County and in DC. I work with returning citizens in Prince George's County and DC. I worked most of my life in and for my community. So I thought my thinking is, that would make me the ideal person to lead my community.
Okay. And under which, were you Democrat, Republican?
Democrat.
Democrat. Okay. And so, talk about the actual race, who you ran against, and what did you learn from this whole experience?
My opponents in District 9, there were 7 of us running for one seat.
When did it start? When did the actual race start, and when did it stop?
Now, for me, I announced my campaign on my birthday in 2017. December 14th is when I announced to I did what they call a soft launch. I had a birthday party, and at that party, I announced to my family and friends that I had thrown my hat in the ring to run for county council of District 9, and that's where my race started. That's where my support began, from those around me and my family and friends, that they supported me throughout every day. My family and friends supported me through it. So that's when my journey began on December 14th of 2017.
Okay. Talk about the people that you ran against. You said it was 7 people?
7. Sydney Harrison, Tamara Davis Brown, Orlando Barnes, Darren Hester, Kevin Harris, and Rodney Taylor.
And out of those 6, because you're the 7.
Right, I'm the 7, correct.
Were there any other candidates who were just fresh in the game as you, or?
We all were.
Okay.
Everyone. Sidney Harrison had previously ran for clerk. He was the clerk of the court. That was his job prior to running. And Tamara Brown had ran in 2010 against current incumbent Mel Franklin, but the rest of us, first time out the gate running for political office.
Wow, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So,
Yeah.
okay, and talk about the actual race. Talk about what mainly, I guess, what you learned through this whole process.
I met a lot of great people on the campaign trail. The race, it was exhausting, but at the same time, it was exhilarating. I met a lot of great people who were running for other offices. I met a lot of great people in and around my community. I had a lot of great conversations, found out that a lot of people backed my thoughts and my agenda, my platform, and it was a good time. I would definitely do it again. Didn't get a lot of sleep, but again, it was well worth it, and I had a great time.
Okay. Who ended up winning?
As of today, actually, District 9 is undecided. Right now, Sydney Harrison and Tamara Davis Brown, they're separated by 47 votes as of today. And there are 80,000 votes, they said, that were provisional ballots that hadn't been counted yet. So they won't know the actual winner for another few days, for about a week.
For about a week?
Yeah.
And who's the Republican?
There is no Republican running. No Republican running in District 9. So whoever wins this primary wins the seat. There's no Republican candidate.
So whoever gets the whatever within the next week,
Right.
actually wins. So it's no November.
There will be because they have to be on a ballot, but they'll be on the ballot by themselves. They'll be unopposed. Yeah.
Okay, and so you said you met a lot of great people. doing the
Yeah,
campaign?
yeah, oh yeah.
The people who you went against and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, who would you like to see win the seat?
For District 9?
Yes.
Me? Honestly, I hadn't thought about that. My focus since the primary hasn't really been on that. It's really been on the things that I want to do for my county. I ran because there were certain things I saw missing in my county, and because I didn't win the primary, doesn't mean those things still aren't an issue. So, only thing what I've been thinking about is just still pushing my agenda, still looking to help those who need help, to be a voice for those who don't have a voice. So, one of those two is going to win. I wish them both well. I can't say who I'd want to win over the other person. Again, I've just been thinking about my next step in helping my community and helping to build my community.
Okay. And you were saying District 9. Can you let the people know exactly how many districts there are in Prince George's County? And have you been focusing on any other races or any other districts as well?
As far as the county council race, there are 9 districts. When you get into the state level, there are several more because the state is broken down into other districts regarding that. I focus on the county council for District 9 and for District 7. District 7 because a great friend of mine, BJ Page, was running for the same seat in a different district for District 7. He and I share a lot of the same ideals, and we definitely share the same passion of what we want to do for our community. So that's the only other race I really paid attention to, honestly. And like I said, since the election, I've just been looking to push forward and help my community.
Also, let me ask you this: far as do you have any intentions on running again the next term?
As of today, I feel like I am. I definitely am. I got 4 years to think about it, so I'm looking to where God leads me. I feel at this point God has led me to serve my people, which I've done previously, and again with the county council, I wanted to do it from that level. So if between now and the next race, things line up where I feel they should be, I will definitely look to consider running again.
Any last words? Any last words you want to say?
Last words.
I may come up with more questions.
Well, I mean, as far last word, I just want to say that what I built my platform is, again, building up the community. My platform was based on school quality education for our children, but also a safe environment for our children to learn in. I didn't hear anyone else speak on that, and I'm going to continue to carry the torch for that. My son just graduated 3 weeks ago from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida, where the mass shooting occurred. And for 2 hours, I didn't know if my son was alive because I was here. I wasn't there in Florida. Thankfully, he's here with me today. You know, God saw him through. But as a parent, our parents here in Prince George's County should never have to feel the way I felt that day, and also the way other parents felt whose children didn't make it. So I got a big emphasis on school safety and protecting our young people, because I believe we have to take a proactive approach as opposed to a reactive approach once something occurs.
Well, let me ask you about that, because the debate that was going on nationwide was the different ways in which people can try to protect the schools. And it was brought up that maybe teachers should have guns.
Okay.
Do you want to speak on that? Do you have
I would definitely speak on that. Regarding teachers having guns, that makes absolutely no sense to me. On one end, we know teachers don't make a lot of money. So if as a government you can pay for guns for teachers, you can pay them more money. Another thing is, they have to be training, and I just don't think guns have a place in school, period, by teachers or students. One idea I did have, and I'm going to also look to push, is that our teachers should have to go through what's called mental health first aid training. Now, I'm also a mental health professional. I had worked for the largest mental health provider in DC, And there's a training called mental health first aid. Mental health first aid is just like regular first aid, where it shows you, regular first aid tells you if you need to put a Band-Aid, or, it basically gives you the first look to see whether this person needs to go to a doctor or not. Mental health first aid is along the same lines, where it teaches you the things to look for and the warning signs to where this young person may have mental health issues. And then they may need to go to the next person, which is, instead of a doctor, a psychiatrist. So I think mental health training will go a long way. It's a one-day training. It'll go a long way to helping our children, our teachers, better deal with our young people.
And so, right, and so I guess you're thinking that mental health plays a huge role into some of these things.
Yes, and I'm not saying a lot of our children have mental illness. What I'm saying is they may be going through something which is affecting their behavior, whether it's issues at home, issues within themselves, or things of that matter, to where we can't just label these kids as, hey, this child is bad, put them with all the other bad kids. This child may have just suffered a loss. This child may have self-esteem issues. There may be anything going on in this child's mind to where they're not producing and being everything that they can be. So it's our position as leaders to recognize these things and take the appropriate steps to get that child on the right path.
Understand. And you said, like, you were a native of Prince George's County.
Yes.
And you grew up in Landover.
Yes.
You and I
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking on the phone.
Yeah, Ricey Road.
Washington Heights and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, so we know from, my question is, from the time that we grew up and the times that's going on now, as far as the youth, have you seen a difference in violence?
Oh, yeah.
And do you think it has gone for the good, or do you think it's gone for the bad?
With our young people, unfortunately, I feel it's gone for the bad. When you told me you were from Washington Heights, I had told you a recent conversation with my wife, but we had rode through the area recently, through Nally and Dutch Village and everything over that way. And I said, I remember when we didn't like that neighborhood when we were younger, and sometimes we would fight them, and but it was just that, it made the highest it would get is to a fight. And then you fight, you go home, and you're like, okay, and you talk about it, and maybe you fight again. You never know. But that was it. Nowadays, fighting is like the lowest level. You want to fight nowadays because the next levels are knives and guns, and and it's just a sad state of affairs, and where the first option seems like I need a weapon. So we got to kind of try and bring our young people back, and I really think it's up to our generation to be that hand that reaches down to the current generation and say, hey, this is not the path you want to be on. We got to teach our young people to prioritize their lives, prioritize their freedom. Because I don't think they're thinking on that level. I think they're thinking for the moment, and we got to teach them to think long term. So that's definitely what I want to, bring to our county, bring to our community, that line of thinking.
What's the future for you?
Oh man, the future for me, I think it's beautiful because I enjoy helping others. I enjoy being a guide to others. So I'm going to keep pushing in my community. When people have asked me almost every day since the primary, how did the election go? And what I say to everyone is the numbers didn't fall in my favor. That's a long way to say I didn't win, but I don't feel I lost. I didn't lose because my platform got out there. I didn't lose because I met a lot of great people who I can look to further my ideas and look to for advice. And I touched my community to a point where there were several hundred people who voted for me. And what that means to me is there were several hundred people who believed in what I wanted to bring. So I touched those people, I touched their lives, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing. So like I said, I don't feel I lost. I just feel the numbers didn't fall in my favor, but they haven't heard the last of me. I'm gonna keep pushing, gonna keep being a part of my community.
Man, I think
All right. I appreciate the time.